In E.M.D. Sales Inc. v. Carrera, the Supreme Court tackled an important question about how employers prove that their workers don't qualify for minimum wage and overtime pay under the Fair Labor Standards Act. The court decided that employers only need to meet a lower standard of proof, known as the preponderance-of-the-evidence standard. This means they have to show that it's more likely than not that their employees are exempt from these protections. Nine Robes uses non-partisan everyday language to focus on the facts of what the Supreme Court is saying. Here, you'll find clear, concise summaries of every Supreme Court opinion, stripped of legalese and clickbait headlines. Each post breaks down the facts, explains the court's reasoning, and highlights the crucial details that often go unnoticed. It's not just about what the court decided. It's about why those decisions matter. To give you a deeper understanding of the cases that define our nation's legal landscape. These summaries are generated by AI. Be careful and consult reputable sources when in doubt. Previously, the Fourth Circuit had set a higher bar, requiring a clearer and more convincing level of evidence. The Supreme Court disagreed with that approach and sent the case back for further review. This ruling could have a big impact on how employers and employees navigate wage and hour laws in the future. The case of E.M.D. Sales Inc. Carrera arose from a dispute regarding the application of the Fair Labor Standards Act, FLSA, specifically concerning the standard of proof required for employers to demonstrate that employees are exempt from minimum wage and overtime pay requirements. E.M.D. Sales, a food distribution company, employed sales representatives who claimed they were entitled to overtime pay, arguing that they did not qualify as outside salesmen under the FLSA's exemption. The district court ruled in favor of the employees, applying a clear and convincing evidence standard, which E.M.D. contested on appeal, asserting that the standard should be the less stringent preponderance of the evidence. The Fourth Circuit upheld the district court's decision, leading to the Supreme Court's review to resolve a circuit split on the applicable standard of proof. The Supreme Court, in a unanimous opinion delivered by Justice Kavanaugh, held that the preponderance of the evidence standard applies when an employer seeks to prove that an employee is exempt from the FLSA's minimum wage and overtime provisions. The court reasoned that the FLSA does not specify a heightened standard of proof for exemptions, and the default standard in civil litigation is preponderance of the evidence. The court noted that heightened standards are only applicable in specific circumstances, such as when mandated by statute or constitutional requirements, none of which were present in this case. The court emphasized that the FLSA's silence on the standard of proof indicates that Congress did not intend to impose a heightened burden on employers. The case was reversed and remanded for further proceedings consistent with this opinion. Justice Gorsuch, joined by Justice Thomas, filed a concurring opinion. Gorsuch emphasized the importance of adhering to the default standard of proof, unless Congress or the Constitution specifies otherwise. He reiterated that courts should not choose sides in policy debates, but should apply the law as it is written. There were no dissenting opinions in this case, as the ruling was unanimous. The nuance in this case lies in the interpretation of the FLSA and the standards of proof applicable in civil litigation. The court's decision underscores the principle that, in the absence of explicit statutory language requiring a heightened standard, the preponderance of the evidence standard should prevail. This aligns with the historical context of civil litigation standards in the United States, where the preponderance standard has been the default. The court also addressed the employees' arguments for a heightened standard based on public interest and the non-waivability of FLSA rights, clarifying that these factors do not inherently necessitate a different standard of proof. The ruling thus reinforces the balance of interests in labor law, ensuring that employers are not unduly burdened while still protecting employee rights under the FLSA. Find us online at 9robes.ai. That's the number, 9robes.ai. Like and share this podcast with friends that like to be informed. 9 Robes provides AI summaries of U.S. Supreme Court cases. AI makes mistakes. People make mistakes too. We genuinely do our best to provide you with the most accurate summaries, but our best sometimes includes errors.